Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to the PBE Spring Training Day 2.5. uh, I gotta wake up at 5 a.m. Well, well, thank you for sacrificing your sleep and kind of going through this with us. I apologize as we had some miscommunication about spring training earlier, and we don't know why it ended on where it did. But hey, nonetheless, we're here. We're gonna go through streaming some more games. We're gonna go through streaming some more games. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna attempt to do it like the red zone style that Hummus did. I hope I don't screw it up. But it's spring training, so how much could we possibly screw it up? It's we didn't even end the sim on the right date, so anything I do got to be better than that, right? Which one of you? That's for me to know and for you to never find out. So I think some of the mods are gonna be here to run some predictions. I don't know what they're gonna do. Like I said, it unfortunately prediction may be a little hard if I'm bouncing things around. But I guess but if you want to ping me and we could kind of figure it out. So maybe make life easier for those around us. I'm not sure. But again, whatever. We're here to kind of enjoy spring training. Well, that's fine. You could just watch. I'm here to watch too. You assume I'm here to just click button and watch. Yeah, I'm not gonna commentate on the games that much. I think I'm just gonna take this chance to you guys have questions and or whatnot. I'm happy to kind of converse with you guys. I'm gonna give my thoughts on the different teams as we're jumping around, and try to kind of give my unfortunately. A lot of it will be on the majors because I really haven't looked at the minors all that much, so I can't really tell you like how each team will be doing. In my mind, everybody has a chance to win in the minors, which is probably not true, but you know. But anyways, it could be Tampa, yeah. So we're supposed to sing while we well, you can sing. I'm not gonna stop you from singing. This is not a I don't micromanage and dictate what people do and don't do, you know, in the comfort of their own home. So, all right, so let's get to it. All right, so we ended this on the 8th, and I saw this. I was out. I did not get a chance to look at this scores earlier, but this is it's been a while since we have seen 20 runs in the spring training. So just for anybody who's new and haven't been with us, prior to season 35. Season 35 is when we moved to OOTB 23. Prior to that, when we was OOTB 21, because of how spring training is set up, and our league is not set up for spring training because, oh wow, I just realized there's something showing that shouldn't. Hey, I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay. Prior to OOTB 23 on 21, our spring training rosters, OTB expect like at least a 40-man roster, up to a 60-man for spring training. They only pitchers like 3 to 4 innings and supposed to and so forth. Well, obviously we don't have a 40-man roster. Nevertheless, a 60-man roster. So those pitchers are getting pulled early, and there's not a lot of off days, and they just keep going. So all the pitchers get absolutely drained, and by like the 5th or 6th day into spring training, you start seeing football scores up there. We saw like 40 to like 27, and it was absolutely insane. It's hilarious. But for some reason, since we moved to 23, it doesn't happen. Like all the scores seems actually kind of normal, and I don't and that's just the way it is. So seeing a team score 20 is so actually it's not that it doesn't happen that much anymore. I kind of miss those days. Anyways, but just going through a little memory lane here. So, all right. So let's get here. We're gonna go world scores so we can see everything. Okay. We're gonna go past a day. Now we got so I'm going to figure out how to do this and not do it for that long because we have till I believe the 17th, and we're obviously on the 9th, so we still actually have plenty of days. So so I'm gonna probably go through. I'll probably do the little bit of the real time on this day, and then I'm gonna do, and then we'll do a quick sim, just go through a box course really quick, and do another one. So we'll probably do like 4 of those, whatever where we could get to. So so mods, I don't know how to best do this. I guess we could select a game and you could base your predictions around that game. So we're here on this day. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Maybe we focus on Vancouver and Boise. We'll start off there, and you could do a prediction for that game, and then we can look back and see how that is. So you want to put up a prediction? We'll give a couple minutes for you to do so, and then we go on. Let me know. Let me know otherwise. While I peruse through to try to see if I missed any messages. It's also kind of a little bit late, so. But while we're doing that, I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna come back here, and then we're gonna go through. So Vancouver, Boise. I want to start this game. This is going to be this is going to be your Legends West showdown for the division, in my opinion. Vancouver has rebuilt. Their rebuild was done a few seasons back, and they just need everyone to just get better. That is the main thing. A lot of rebuilding is in PBE. It's you are done, and now you're just waiting for everyone to marinate. That's what it is. And the marination of the Vandals are now slowly hitting peak. This is a team that, if anyone cares, this is a team that they're looking at about 60 to 65 wins this season. There's a very good chance of them to win the Legends West. This is the same for Boise. The Boise Raptors has had some struggles in recent seasons in terms of trying to get that team kind of stabilized. I think that Bazooka Joe and Nick has done a great job at doing so. They have made moves to put on to put a team out there that's very good. They signed Udo Banga a few seasons back as a free agent. They traded for Tommy Callahan and Joe a few seasons back as well. They signed Chauncey Ingram last season, I believe. And in this season, they made enough move where they got to sign a starting pitcher who was looking for a team, and unfortunately, for you guys anyone who don't know, that was a little bit of a saga because he is a peak TPE player, and his salary would have been 12 mil, and that is a kind of lofty to take on for teams who are competing. So, and you have to sacrifice somewhere. And so for Boise's sake, they are sacrificing their bullpen right now, and which is what the first place that any team would sacrifice. But again, they'll be challenging the Vandals for that. They would be challenging the Vandals for that number 1 spot, and we'll see how they hold up. I do think the Vandals might have a slight edge in their offense, and that might be why I have them as the team to beat in the Legends West. And Lumo wins a ring as a GM. I mean, it could happen. I mean, I don't know anyone. Anyone can. So Anywho, oh well, I don't see a prediction up, so I guess, or there was one? No, none, zero. Okay, well, whatever. All right, so we are going to. I'm going to try to do the real time sim while we're kind of going through this, and then we'll sort it out, and let's see how this works out. And then we'll go to the Raptors game. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh no! All the games are in different times. Well, that was dumb. I did not take that into account. Huh. Well, this will work better if I set all the teams at the right time. Hmm. All right. Well. Oh well. I guess we'll start with Indy Cancun, and then we'll try to jump around. I did not take that into account. All right. All right. Oh, I also forgot to check my settings, but that's okay. We're here. So All right. Anyways, we could talk a little about Cancun and Indy as well. Cancun, I actually have them neck and neck with DVS in the Champions West. They have made a couple of moves. Obviously, this is the reigning World Series champions, and they brought in Scotty Sterling and Tyler Defrich, two top TPE bats this off season, and obviously the team was already very good. And yes, they did lose the starting pitcher to free agency, which would have happened anyways, regardless. And but again, they have fared very well in terms of restocking up. Trichy has done a great job in terms of keeping the team rolling along. And there's a home run by Rowdy here, fifth of spring training. So Natalia Defrich played his entire career in Toronto, and they traded for him this off season. Scotty Sterling played his entire career in Luna Base, and they traded for him. Also, not going to go into the specifics of the trades. Let's just say Cancun did really well on those. But again, this is a number one and number three number one and three batter that they grabbed here. This offense last season's I thought this offense was very hard to beat, and it's probably even gotten even more so this season. While McGillicuddy is getting older, and Xander Azar, the center fielder, is getting it. Well, the shortstop actually is getting older as well. I don't. They they have so much firepower in that lineups, where I don't think it really matters that much that they have regressed. And McGillicuddy really regressed to a DH, so really all he lost saw his defense. On the other side, the Apex is looking at, and there goes three Enderman with a 3-run shot here, or 2-run shot here. I'm sorry, to give Indy a 2-1 lead. Enderman, the Apex is in a little bit of a retooling stage. They have they needed to shed a lot of money, and they did this off season. They lost their catcher. They lost the catcher. Scud. What is it? Gabriel Scudder Catcher. I think that's the name, to Detroit in free agency. They had to trade away. They traded away Professor Farnsworth. But they still have and who was it? Luna. Yeah, one of the relievers retired, kind of in peak, in peak TPE, but they really couldn't afford any of them. Those kind of they kind of so, but they did manage to shed about like 20-30 million dollars in cap to bring themselves back down. So yes, Nathaniel Foot, yes, and yes. So they had to shed a lot of players, but at the same time they are retooling through the draft, and they brought up McKinley, they brought up Yidev, and we'll see how this team does. They have a lot of talent on this team, but may not be enough to really fight for that that Champions East yet. But you never know. You never know. That Champion East team division is tight between Detroit, Nashville, and Indy. So if anyone cares from their fantasy standpoint, Rosenthal is going to be the catcher. Uh, and it looks like he's going to be the catcher. And I don't know how the rest of the lineup completely shaped out yet, so there's still a lot of changes that can be made, obviously from now till Sunday, and yeah, but this is still a pretty potent lineup up top with Enderman, Car Crash, D Fernandez, who's likely playing his last season. Um, Callahan is starting to get up there in TPE. Rosenthal getting up there in TPE. And Gagne getting up there in TPE as well. And so we got Ichibot Cranepool on the mound right now, a season 45 starter. Moose Cop, who's been in the league for a very long time, former New York Voyagers GM. And I do think I do have this thing that I do believe that pitchers get better in regression. So, so he's probably gonna have a very good season. Thank you, Tampa, for removing that. Yeah. Uh, oh, and there's a few more runs now by Indy. Enderman again having a great game here. Can Cancun's pitching is Cancun's pitching is very good. They have drafted a good amount of pitchers over this seasons, and while they have shuffled some of them in and out, um, but they have a good pen, which is very important. Do not ever understand. I know that every team will shed the pen first as a if need be, but don't ever underestimate a poor pen. Don't underestimate a good pen. As Murphy hits a 3-run shot to bring this game to a 7-4. So let's. I think there are other games now. So let's see if we could hop around. So we're gonna. All right. So let's see what's going on around the league, and we could talk about some other team. The other games are starting later. So let's go DVS Lunar Base. So. Lunar Base starting up, and there it goes, a 3-run shot by Long Gnomes. DVS hitting their window now. They are, like I said, they're gonna be fighting Cancun for that top spot in the Legends West. They started their rebuild. When did they start their rebuild? That's a good question. Well, probably 47, I would say, season 47ish. That's when it really started. That's with Techi Nulis and Bass Reeves. That's Blue Line and TG19. Two incredible users. I can't stress how much I love them to death as former Voyagers. um, uh, uh, like yeah, yeah. The top three, the top three in their lineups are former Voyagers, and it pains me. It really does. With Reeves, Giannoulis, and Smalls, users who were on the Voyagers prior. Yeah, I don't get people back. I never do. But DVS went on a rebuild, and between season 47, 48, 49, and so forth, grabbed Reeves, Giannoulis, Smalls, Gnomes, Plainville. They signed Montalban, which is Blow Pop, last season, I want to say. So yeah, they have done themselves. They have done a great job at rebuilding, as always. DVS knows how to do it. It's second nature to them. They could do it blindfolded, and it works out for them. And so, and on the mound here is Hummus, always a bummus. So, and yeah, they. I'm gonna pull. Let me see if I have it. I need to pull this up. Give me a second. So I just want to make sure I don't forget people here. Yeah, so they're starting pitcher with, well, actually, their top pitcher is actually Person Man at 1418 TPE. Hummus is actually the top starter at 1386. This is a team that still has room to grow. So this is not a regressing team by any stretch of the imagination. And their offense, they have a lot of firepower. Four starting pitchers that are over 1,000 TPE. Again, like the sick part is that they're not even close to hitting peak, and this is a team that could potentially win in 65 games. And next season, you could easily argue they could win 70 games. The bulk they have a great pen in Xavier and Bandit Keith, both over 1,000 TPE. So yeah. Yeah. This is there's more to come too. They have done a great job at this. So I like, they are extremely dangerous. Now, would the sim actually, hold them back? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. DVS has a tendency to they either lose in the first round or they win the World Series. There's really not a lot in between for them. So so if they go past round one this season, I think it's maybe safe to say they're gonna win the World Series. Let's Luna Base is in a rebuilding stage. I have them coming in last in the Champ East, but that's what happens when you're rebuilding. They traded away Serpol, they traded away Sting Euclid, they traded away Scotty Sterling. That's a lot of TPE off the board for them. But again, they need to do so. There's a point where you have to make a direction for your team and start grabbing draft assets, and that's what they're doing. And we'll see what other moves they have. So they kind of getting by with whatever they can right now. I think I pegged them around like mid 30s as the win total, but that's that's a given, and ebb and flow. Like teams need to rebuild, and people need to give patience for that, because there's just only so much development that a team can go through per season. All right, let's jump around again and see. Good old pass ball. All right, let's see here. We got to Boise and Vancouver. Let's take a look at that. We're probably going to stay around here for a little bit. And in the sixth inning already. All right. Namanon pitching pretty well. 5 and 2/3, six strikeouts. Boise, as I mentioned before, they have brought in a starting pitcher. This is a lot of this. They have done a great job at bringing in people to fill out roles that they weren't able to draft for over the past few seasons. As now the basis is loaded. I do think Vancouver has a better offense overall, but you know, it's not like there's a huge gap there. Having a starting pitcher up top, I've mentioned that starting pitcher could get you. This is a potential 6 WAR player at peak, and that's what he's at right now. This is his peak season, and he could end up with 6 WAR, and that's huge. That's 6 games that he could potentially win for them with his bat and his speed. That could propel them over. That could easily propel them over Vancouver. I think Vancouver making some noise here. As Steven Strange knocks in a couple of runs. So you look at Vancouver. The bulk of the rebuild is between season 46 and 50ish. They basically kind of put all the eggs in that basket. And I think it's gone pretty well. Not perfect, but it's gone pretty well. So they have a lot of those pieces active. They lost a couple of pieces, but that's okay. I think you anticipate for that. As I said, I do think that this team gets somewhere in the low 60 to mid 60 wins this season. I Let me see. I remember the starting pitchers. This should be cash consideration: Andy Beans, Holly Sheet, and Darren Clapp. I think their weakness comes in their pen right now. Max Velo would be their top pen arm, and at 800, close to 900 TPE is actually not too shabby. The question comes in with the slightly lower ones and how they will fare, which pen is usually the part that a lot of teams are weak in. So all right, top of the ninth, Vancouver, last chance. Let's see if Boise does have a pretty decent pen. I had to double check who is actually starting, but to lead the way is Frosty Steele, who at 9, I believe he's closer to 900 TPE. Psyduck should be around 700 TPE. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Well, maybe I'm forgetting someone, but yeah. Maybe Wade Silliams. Double check who's in the pen. All right. Anyways, I think that ends that. So in this game, yeah, I'm not gonna go through the box scores. All right. A little long for first day, but okay. So we're gonna go through the box scores really quick here. So San Antonio beat Buffalo 2-0. The Aviators beat the Crabs 4-2. The Voyagers lose to the Pathfinders, as apparently giving up 10 runs is a fun thing between the 9th and 10th. Who knew playing your DH as shortstop is not a good idea? As we saw before, the Raptors win 7-5. Cancun with a 10-8 victory over the Apex. Luna Bays beat the Scorpions 6-4. Rougarous 4-1 over Serpents. And this game is in progress. Interesting. I thought they were all done. Okay. I guess, where are you? Oh, this is a late game. Alright, we're not gonna... Alright, we're gonna do that. Alright, and the Demons beat the Stars 6-3. We're gonna move on to the next day, and we're gonna go for the minors as well. And we could bounce around the minors a little bit in the next try. But let's get through a couple of days of quick sims. The Dillos 3-2 victory over the Firehawks. Wheelers 2-0 victory over Ranas. Bruce City Bears 5-1 winner over the Hepcats. The Lemurs 3-0 victory over State College, and the Flamingos 2-1 victory over the Kingpins. Save, and we're gonna quick sim this day and go through the box scores really quick. Aviators blank the Surge 7-0. As and the Raptors win 10-1 over the Sloths. The Pathfinder wins again, the 10th victory in this spring training, 5-3 over the Crabs. Vandos wins 10-6 over the Voyagers. The Rougarous 4-3 victory over the Scorpions. And Indy 6-2 victory over the Demons. Cancun 5-1 victory over Loon Base. Nashville 4-2 victory over Seattle. The Florida Flamingos was 11-7 win over the Ranas. The Chicago Kingpins with a 9-8 victory over the Lemurs. The Hepcats have a 5-2 victory over Firehawks. And the Dillos 10-1 victory over State College. Bruce City 11-1 victory over the Wheelers. Let's see, we're on the 10th, so let's do one more quick sim day. Right, the Buffalo Surge will beat the Pathfinders 8-4. Outer Banks Aviators scored 3 on the top of the 9th to beat the Sloths 7-4. The Raptors walk off the Voyagers, who walked it off. Looks like T-Rex Dan got a walk-off single. The Vandos 6-2 victory over the Crabs. 11-7 victory for the Scorpions over the Toros. They score 8 runs between the 6th and 7th. So much for the pen. Rougarous 11-3 victory over Nashville. Seattle Sea Serpents 3-1 over the Apex. The Demons 8-2 victory over Luna Base. Down in the minors we go. Dillos 15-9. Yeah, gotta love those high-growing games. Over the Lemurs. State College beat the Hepcats 4-0. The Wheelers 8-3 victory over the Firehawks. Flamingos for a 5-2 victory over the Bears. And a 6-0 shutout for the Kingpins over the Ranas. Alright, so let's see here. Let's save this. I guess we could bounce around the minors and take a look. Wonder, can I get there? It'd be hilarious if I can't. Okay, it looks like these 2 games are starting at 1. Anything starting before? So we'll get to. Okay, fine. It's Louisville and Ranas, but I'm just gonna start and bounce around and see what happens. All right. let's talk about Louisville. Defending champs, right? Oh no, is that the Bears? No, it's the Bears. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was Bruce City. Yeah, I'm losing track of things. Yeah, we've been here so long that all the seasons all kind of jumbled in together. So Louisville is run by Haycup and KP. They have done a fantastic job over the past X amount of seasons. You always see the Lemurs having very active users. Obviously, have won a lot of games throughout that time. They have done themselves pretty well in drafting and keeping people active. 73 win for Louisville. Okay, yeah, yes, I understand. Regular season champs. I've been there many times. um, so yeah, I have nothing but really good things to say about them. They have been. It's very hard to keep kind of it's regardless. It's hard to keep a team good for a while, especially in the minors, considering that you get all the call ups and so forth. So you always lose a bunch of players, especially when you're really good. I odds are if you win 73 games, there's a very good chance that you're losing a good portion of your roster because that means that you have a bunch of people who are at cap and have been there for a few seasons, and they're ready for the call up. I have been there. I lost 14, I believe it was, after my second seasons as the Hepcast GM. We won the World Series in season 18 and then promptly got gutted. Yeah, that was fun. Rounds were the draft class were bigger back then, but not to the point where you could really fill 14 spots. So, go figure. But if you play your cards right, you really can be able to just rebuild a team in 2 or 3 seasons, and actually probably even shorter than that if again you play your cards right. But again, the point of the minors isn't fully about winning or losing. It's about how well they develop their talents, help people build their players, help them be in the league. And I think that Haycup and KP has done a good job with that. I've not heard anything bad about the team from anyone I spoke to, so I have no idea how they'll fare this season. I suspect that they'll probably do pretty well still, but I could be completely wrong. Like I said, I have not tested the minors. For all that I know, every team probably has the exact same chance right now, including the Ranas. Let's go, Ranas. All right, Picasso has been a bot with us for, I don't know how long. It's been a very long time. But Picasso has been just an incredible bat. Let's see. Let's bounce around a little then. Hey, why won't you stop? Okay. I have a really good thing about the Ronis GM. Yeah, no, I cannot speak any more highly about the Ronis GM. They are amazing, absolutely amazing. Like if there's anything that we can learn, we should learn from Ronis GMs. All right, State College and the Wheelers. State College has been around for a very long time. One of the original minors team that was created. I there's been a lot of periods where the team has struggled record wise, and then there are periods where they do really really well. So they're a little more streaky than other some other teams perhaps. Uh, but There's names I do recognize here that Dogwood being one of them on that state college team. Uh, but yeah, I was a Swifty when I first joined the league. I was picked up via waiver by them, so in some ways, I'm in some ways I've always have some association with the Swifties, uh, even though that ultimately if you ask me what I associate myself with the minors, it's definitely not them, but I still have some association because of that. But yeah, the team's been around for a while. I don't think they. Let me see. How did they fare last season? This is what I get for like not remembering anything. Let's see history. Let's go back. Last season, Swifties were 42-66 last season. Clearly not a great record, but again, you hope that you draft well and then you come back strong. You could do a lot. You really can do a lot if you draft well and those people are consistently earning. You can make up a lot of room, a lot of space against quote unquote top teams. Look at Anchorage get a 3-0 lead. The Anchorage Whalers have been they have had pretty decent leadership over the past 15 seasons or so, maybe a little less than that. Right now, they at the helm is Nick Wise and Panda. We've done a great job. I see it I see how much they care about the team. I see how much work they put into their scouting, building up their war room, and it translates. They obviously did not play. They were not a good team last season in terms of performance wise, but again, up and down. They up and down. The Wheelers. Let's see here. Yeah, the Wheelers. Yeah, they came off 3 straight seasons of winning seasons, including 2 of them being the 60s, and even prior than that, prior to that, they had a 72 win season, 65 win season. So the team has been have done well in terms of winning. So they it wasn't always the case. It was a long time ago when the Wheelers just really struggled a lot for whatever reason. But they have done pretty well in recent times. Off season, obviously not good last season, but I look for them to bounce back this season. The base is loaded for Swifties, and they get out of it. The Wheelers get out of it. Go to the top of the ninth, the last chance for the Swifties. And Blair gets on the single. Tsushima, that's 2 outs. Last chance is Chris Gaines. They will ground. Oh no, just kidding. You beat it. But Gother? Gother is how you say it? Gother flies out, so that's a 3-1 victory for the Wheelers. Like the winner is Tim Infinity. It's a cool name. and then Mrs. Dirk takes the. I'm sorry, the loser with Tim Infinity, and Mrs. Dirk get the win. Let's see. Were you tired? Odds are everyone is tired. There's like no rest days in spring training. Like catchers and pitchers are just absolutely all worn out. Okay, let's see. Where should we go next? Let's go back to the majors. Whoa. Any halfway decent games? Let me see this. All right. There's no close games. We already did Boise. We already did Vancouver. Yeah, let's come here and watch a blowout for a minute or two. Let's talk about Providence. The Providence Crabs are rebuilding. They're slated to finish last in the Legends East. They are under their GMs are Southworth and Dead Potato. They're two very active GMs. They have made a bunch of moves to try to get more draft assets, taking on debt money for other people, and just trying to do a lot to gain to try to build around the class of 53 to 55, around that. They have they're two classes into this rebuild. I would say that it probably takes 3 or 4 to really round it out, and then it's a waiting game again. And so yeah. Yeah, this team again, just because they're not good now doesn't mean they won't be good later on. So keep that in mind. What's the next game? You get a prediction going. That is a very good question. Let's see. I'll give you a game that we can do a prediction on. Give me a second. Let me take a look at the schedule here and let's see what we can work up. Standing. No, I don't want to hear. I want to hear. Yeah, let's do a prediction on what happened to all that. This is the so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is it 12? Yes. Yeah, let's do the 15th. It will be on the 15th. Let's do let's do Seattle and Demons. I'll drop it off here. So do it. Oh, that's not meant to be a question mark. Do as that as you will. So yeah, the New York beats the Crabs 15-2. Yeah. See, other games are going on. Let's go back down to the minors. That's over. That's a blowout. Oh, let's go Cali and Florida. They coming down to close to the end now. Let's see how this one will end, as the Flamingos will fly out. We go to the bottom of the 8th here. Flamingos are run by Lord Parkwad and Chatwick. You guys may know Chatwick from co-hosting the Prospect League with Naspace a lot. Parkwad has done his fair share of streaming as well. They have had a exceptional organization. Really have brought up a lot of great users along his time and Parkwat has been GMing for a good while now. I don't really think about how long it has been, but blink of an eye, it's probably closer to. I think he mentioned it. He said it's closer to 20 seasons now. So I don't know if that's completely right, but yeah, time flies, and I had the pleasure of drafting Parkwat when he first came into the league, and I yes, another one that I tremendously miss having on the team, but I know he have done great things with the Flamingos, and yeah, they were. They won 55 games last season, I think it was. Let me just double check before I. They won 55 games last season. Oh. Oh, that was weird. Oh, okay. All right, so they did win 6-4. Oh, they scored two at the top. How did I miss that? Didn't think that. All right. Well, we'll come back to them later. Okay, games are still going. Chicago did not start yet. Final. Seattle, let's go here. Indy, Nashville. So we talked a little bit about Indy before. They are rebuilding, or retooling, I should say. Not really a rebuild. Same thing with Nashville. Nashville has done this many times where they don't go full rebuild. They do more of a quick retool, and they're back at it. So their quote unquote rebuilds are very fast. And I kind of expect the same thing. They traded for Sting Eucliffe this past off season. So they kind of got themselves a little bit younger, but obviously I would have. I suspect that the plan was to, more drafting more, but maybe not. I don't know. They lost Dizzy Stoner in to free agency, who was a lifetime star, and there's a home run here by Mom Spooner, first of the spring training game, tied at 2. Take on OB. Yeah, we do OBX next. Yeah, we will do OBX next. Or whenever we can find that game. Are they still playing? So I just want to get to the compendium just because I can't remember what everybody is. By the way, the most hilarious thing, if you look on the compendium, under comeback Zach Ichiban Sakudo, his position says has been. I don't know why that is, but it's hilarious. He's a has been. Zach is the GM of the Stars along with his brother Teje. They're the GM Kotia and Tangent. That has been. Oh my goodness, they've been at this forever. Longer than I have had. Well, actually, longer than my majors GM career. That's for sure. I don't know if they beat me in if I combine that with my minors, but they started in the late teens, I believe, in league, and have had a tremendous amount of success in terms of building their team up, having a great locker room. Not too much success in terms of actual World Series in percentage playoff success, which is really just there was a point where it was just they were the most unlucky team I've ever seen. Some remind did they? I think they won. Man, this is what I'm saying. Like things loop, and 2 seasons ago, right? They were the champions 2 seasons ago. I gotta look this up now, because my memory is really like crappy now. All right. Yes, the Nashville Stars were season 52 champs after losing to the Voyagers in season 51. in the World Series. So yeah, so they have had tremendous success. Their team right now, like I said, they start retooling a bit where they have younger players from season 51 and and on. I don't exactly know why they brought in AJ. I think it's AJ is not in regression yet, so I guess it is a valuable bat for a while, and it is part of a retooling process where you do need top bats, and some of it is they kind of need their younger guys to get up there in TPE. So we'll have to see how they do. I don't know. It's kind of questionable how well some of the picks are, because I'm not diving into it. Some of them are still in the minors, so maybe they have not claimed the TPE. But so I in terms of how they would do this season, I kind of expected them to be like around hovering around 500. I don't see them as better than I shouldn't say that. I think they are kind of in neck and neck with Detroit. And it is kind of tough to say who will come out, the when you test, and you know, a team wins 56, the other one 55, the other one wins 54. Well, that's just a coin flip then. You know, like you literally you know, someone sneezed the wrong way, and Indy will win that division, and you know, another try, you know, like you know, Detroit wins. So they so yeah. I think they have a chance to make the playoffs. I do think that they obviously, once you make the playoffs, you have a chance to make it far again. I don't ex- fully expect that. There's a good chance they may miss the playoffs as well. So, but yeah, I figure they're hovering around 500. That's what that team is. Uh, how does Indy have 4 runs but only 3 on the board? Well, they just walked it off because I'm not actually looking. Yeah, the board changes. So I think it was D Fernandez who hit something to walk that one off. um, yeah, D Fernandez, 200 home run to win this on the bottom of the 10th. So yeah, so Indy still has a lot of talent. So I think between Detroit, Indy, and Nashville, they all have a lot of talent on the offense side. I think they have some higher up pitchers. The question, a lot of it is how they're built, and how you know, how the sim will fare from here on. So yeah, it's very hard to predict the champs East this season, at least between 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, it's moved to the 10th. Yeah. Oh, it didn't show the. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the scoreboard kind of shuffles over. And once you move in extra innings. So Indy has yeah, Indy has a lot of actives. I think that, you know, even if it doesn't give them the edge this season, I think that it comes into play a lot for season 55. They are in they will have to work around the cap again, but we'll see what they do. Yeah. All right. Let's see what else is running here. All right. I guess we'll go quick on this, since this, I think this is the only game that's left. Seattle. Oh well, I was gonna compliment them, and then their third baseman drops a. Oh no, their third baseman drops a drops a pop fly. Really quick on Seattle. Seattle's a keep your eye out on Seattle. They may not be good this season in terms of they'll probably win 40 something games, but Nasbase and Day has done an excellent job of rebuilding this team. They it was a struggling franchise. Let's just say that when they took over, and they brought in a bunch of great users. I mean I hope so. When you have high draft pick, I certainly hope that you draft well. Um, but it looks like this game's gonna come to an end. Real? No, just kidding, just kidding. We have free baseball, or at least nope, just kidding. Yes, their draft have been excellent. Uh, so we'll get to see some of the benefits. Some of the draft some of their fruit of their labors coming in. As let's see if Lunar Base can pull it off. Oh, no, we got some free baseball. Okay, what's huge? So a couple of names in there is Uzi, Rabbit Sponge. Who one thing about with Rabbit, oh there it is. As healer, Bandit Healer hits a 2-run shot to give him the lead. C does C does IT. I think so. You have to understand like CD and Rabbit are two of the most excellent minds in terms of player builds and OTP strats, and they have that on the team. These are former GMs that you can rely on to help you out. That is incredible to have in your war room. Like I cannot stress enough like how important that is to have those minds set to help you, help with the player development. Um, it if there are some teams that I feel like it's like a gauntlet that I have to go through because of the sheer amount of brain power that they're on their team, and this is one of them, that I know that they are forced to be reckoned with. Not this season, but I think this season they're gonna win about like maybe mid 40s. Next season you're gonna see them hover around 500, and then in season 56, I think that's when they really have that legit playoff run. It's fun to watch. Like if it's a lot of patience and a lot of the fruit of their labor, and as a fan of PBE, it's exciting to watch. As a opposing GM, it's really annoying to have to face that down the line. So, but yeah, but you can just seeing. Oh, there's another. I mean, they have at least 3 former GMs on their team. Just absolutely insane. They pitch no. Well, it's a former minors GM as well. Anyways, so yeah. I mean, yeah. That rebuild cycle, like it's 5 seasons to really rebuild a team if you do it right, and in that 5 seasons, it's still probably closer to a year, really. But at the same time, you're not actually waiting 5 years in real life. But you do have to have patience, because I think what it is a lot of people who are. Wait, hang on. Sorry. Why is my screen showing something completely different? Well, no one's complaining, so I assume that the stream is actually showing the right thing. um, um, so the thing is that like you still need patience, because during this time, like especially when you're the first one to get drafted, in that rebuild, you're coming up on the terrible teams, Yeah, yeah. I just want to make sure that's showing that because my screen has like a game from 30 minutes ago. I don't know why. It's just kind of frozen there. So who knows? It's like seven. Yeah, yeah. 7 weeks about that season cycle. Yeah. So yeah. But again, during that time, it's still waiting, and it's not fun not winning, and now you're just asking for your player, and it hurts your player too. Like from if you're not gonna lie, I mean, if you're on a bad team, odds of you doing well statistically is not there. Like in good teams, you could hide a player, and or they have more protection in the lineup. So it takes a lot of patience, and that's where that rebuild comes in really dangerous, because you have people like, oh, screw this, I'm not dealing with this. My guy's hitting 180 for like two straight seasons, and all this work I put in, and it gets frustrating. I totally understand that. But I think what makes a rebuild work is the ability for people to to embrace that rebuild, and have fun with it. And that's why I saw Day and Naspace really did. Yeah, their team was terrible like 2 3 seasons ago, but I love the fact that they put it into a bingo system, and just like, you know what, let's have fun. If we're gonna suck, let's have fun sucking. And they have done a great job in that. And that's what brings the team together, and that camaraderie, and having realized that you as a core are working for something greater. That was what my experience was when I first got in the league. The Voyagers, I was really one of the first of the Voyagers rebuilt after they won in season 12. They basically tore down the whole thing, and and but like what I realized was it was really fun, like coming up with that group of players, and, with Slot Phase and and PPP Paul, and so forth. So yeah. I hope that's the case for Seattle as well. Like, yeah, like again, that light at the end of the tunnel, it's coming up very soon, and that's exciting to see. All right, so I think that is it for that day. All right, let's go through this really quick. All right. All right, San Antonio 13-2 win over the Pathfinders. New York with 15-2 victory. There's a lot of blowouts. Surge with 6-3 victory over the Vandals. Boise shut out the Aviators 2-0. Nolas with scoring 3 on the top of the ninth to beat the Toro 6-5. Death Valley's a 7-0 victory over the Demons. Walk off here we saw before with D Fernandez. He hit 2 home runs in that. And then we saw the Serpents beating the Space Rangers 12-11. Down in minors, Lemurs with 7-4 victory over the Ranas. A 3-1 victory for the Wheelers over State College. Florida with 6-4 victory. Kansas City a 9-4 victory over the Dillos. And we have one more game. Of course we do. Why wouldn't we? All right. So it's a 6-1 victory for the Kingpins over the Bears. The Bears. All right, we're going to do, what did I say, the 15th? Okay, we'll do 2 days of quick simming. And then we'll get to the next set. And then I'll start with OBX so we could chat about OBX a little bit. I'm trying to be as objective as possible because I have to separate myself as GM versus just a fan of PvE, so like legit like have to be, so it's a little hard for me to kind of be able to separate myself sometimes, but I try to do my best. All right. The Aviators 6-0 victory over the Pathfinders. Walk off. The Voyagers 4-3 victory over the Surge with walk off. Let's see who got the walk off. It is Mosquito with 2-run shot off of Madsen. Let's go. Raptors beating the Crabs 6-0. San Antonio 2-1 victory over The Vandals, Scorpion 6-0, blanking, second straight blanking for them over Serpents. Rougarou 7-0 over the Apex. Lunar Base 6-1 victory over Stars. 5-2 victory for Toros over the Demons. Kansas City 14-1 victory over the Lemurs. And Flamingos 2-1 victory over State College. Dillos a 4-1 victory over the Wheelers. Firehawks a 5-3 victory over the Kingpins, and Bruce City a 4-3 victory over the Ranas. All right. So we will have on the 14th, we will have the Vandals beating the Aviators 5-3. Pathfinder 7-6 win over the Raptors, a walk-off in 10. And that is Nolan Windsor Fielder's Choice. Wait, attempt at home runner safe. He starts. Oh, right, because we have Ghost Runners turned on spring training. I hate Ghost Runners, by the way. I long story short, I agree to letting it run in spring training, but yeah, let's not go into that. Anyways, Sloths 5-1 victory over the Voyagers. Search with a walk off in the bottom of the 10th. It is Zen Brobris with a single scoring Cadavra. That's off of Legend. Apex 8-4 victory over Lunar Base. Detroit 4-1 victory over the Rougarous. Toros win the 16th of the spring training 5-3 victory over the Sea Serpents. Nashville 5-2 victory over the Scorpions. Kingpins 4-2 victory over State College. A walk-off, a weird walk-off, but it's a lot of runs scored in ninth by the Flamingos. And it will be Napoleon Solo. That's Orbiting Death, I believe. Scoring Brianna Rose Sabor. Petra. So this is off of Amos Rich. Ranas win. Let's go, Ranas. 3-0 over the Firehawks. Kansas City with 8-6 victory over the Wheelers, and Bruce City with a 6-3 victory over the Lemurs. All right, let's save this. All right, so these games is 2. Oh, okay. Oh, there's a 1 o'clock one. All right, let's see what we can do. I think the prediction was up. Let's see, who has the highest scoring inning? Okay, so just remind me, we have to look at the box score for that, or jump to that game at one point. Is Seattle and the Demons. So let's see. Which game is going right now? It would be okay. We'll go here for a little bit before we get to the 2 o'clock games. Didn't we see Ranas and Swifties before? Oh no, it was Lemurs. Anyways, I think we mentioned about the Swifties before, so there's not much to talk about. I think we're just wasting time until we get to late. It's running later. It's running later. So just when we schedule, we have the regular season stuff imported in, and all the games starts at 7:05. So if we do it this method in regular season, it actually wouldn't be an issue. Problem is that spring training is generated by the game itself. It's a lot to try. You can't import in spring training, and that's why we just kind of let it run, and usually not a problem, because like you just kind of let it run in the background. Who cares, and jumping around might obviously make a bit of an issue, because it was scheduled games at all over the time. So Oh yeah, yeah, that's fine. We'll get there. Yeah, I'll let you know when we'll check it after, because we can see the game. We can see the time here. So once we hit 2 o'clock, we're gonna, or 2:05, we're gonna jump to. We're gonna go back and take a look. So I guess next one is OBX. I guess we're gonna start talking about OBX. OBX is OBX has been really good. I think they still a lot better than I might give them credit for. Uh, this is a team that has retooled along the way, while keeping a lot of their players. They were forced to trade away Toast player due to cap reasons. Their structure, and I have to look back and I don't really remember why, but they ended up they're it's not really backloading, that the contract just, it's actually pretty regular contracts. Unfortunately, with regular contracts between all your guys from the season 45 through 47 seasons, is that everybody costs like 11 mil and on. Um, it's a lot of money. It adds up. You're in every million you save is could be put towards somewhere else, and they really not getting a lot of savings right now. Um, but that's fine, that's just life, and they're just gonna have to navigate around that, because they're gonna have the same problem next season. Somebody's not getting signed. Uh, they need to figure out, they need to move people. It's going to be a juggling act, and that's part of what GMing is. And I if there's anybody out there, oh, we're 210, so let's, come on, pause. I think I pressed it one too many times. All right, so let's take a look. Let's go back to the majors. OBX New York, and let's see, when is Detroit starting? Detroit starting in a little bit, so we'll go here for a little bit. So OBX is of this season. The question isn't about their pitching. They have probably the best pitching, the best starters in the league. The problem comes in is really the offense. How much offense can they actually generate? And is it enough? Is it enough over the course of the season to where their pitching isn't too stressed out by it? So they're led by the bulk of the team is on between 46 and 47. So you have guys like Wombat Jones and Bailey's player, Arya Harper, that's still in peak TPE uh, form, so to speak. I think I mentioned about navigating through the cap and navigating through whatever. I totally expect Bailey to be able to do that without any issues. Um, so um, they do have a good mix of. They actually still have drafted very well during this time. So it it'll be interesting to see, because like I said, they um, their offense is going to have to catch up at one point. And they have guys like Curtis Jones. They have one dog power bat little whatever. Too long to say. Dynamics player. Being called up. Oh, he got called up last season. Curtis Jones got called up this past off season, very early on, which I feel bad for, because at 400 TPE, you're just, just just I feel bad. Um, uh, uh, Trafag's player, Patrick Edinburgh, that they're still in the minors. So there's a bunch of bats that are going to be coming up as well. So this is what I'm talking, sustain, being able to try to sustain a good team here, and that's what they're trying to do versus completely breaking it down like they have the last couple of times. And but even during that, OBX always have this really great ability to rebuild fast. So yeah, I think that this team, sustainability wise, it's gonna be good. I think what may be the downfall, or what may be holding them back, is really just because they're in that Legends East. There's always a three-team race, and it's been a three-team race regardless, as for the longest period of time, where it's just absolutely stresses you out. um, I think from what they expect from OBX this season, you're looking at a team that can win in the high 50s, probably sneak into the 60s, if anything. Um, this is if their pitching performs the way that it would, with the you would expect from their TPE. If they don't, and that offense isn't scoring as much runs as they would hope, then yeah, that team can dip into the lower 50s. And so yeah, are they better than Boise right now? Are they better than Vancouver? I am not sure. Um, but yeah, so let's jump out of this and take a look at while we do that, we could jump out of that and go to that Seattle game. Seattle at the bottom of fourth there. Um, but yeah, if anything else, I mean, they're I am excited to see, that core that they had from 45 to 47, and how they perform. Like, a lot of them is pitching, but obviously Duke here is part of that in that 47 class. Um, KDR is a little bit, it's one class behind, but he's also getting up there in TPE as well. So yeah, a lot of it hinges on how the top TPE guys do, and and how the team will fare. Again, like, Bailey knows how to build a team, so never count them out for anything. Detroit, since we're landed here in Detroit, kind of, it's they weren't good last season. Let's just be real. They were not a good team last season. It's very rare in the PBE where you can go from not being, like, definitively not being in a playoff to winning a division the season after. You don't have, it doesn't happen that often, but Detroit may actually make it happen, with Indy and Nashville taking a step back. They saw an opportunity, and to fill the holes in their team, and they took it. They made huge splashes in bringing Serpo, through trades with Luna Base. They brought in Gabriel Catcher Scudder, free agent. Um, Scott is 42. I thought he was 44. Oh, his player's a little older. Okay. Um, so, and also now with their, some of the younger, quote unquote younger guys, are starting to surpass 1,000 TBE. This team, looking decent. In I think Detroit. There you go. All you need to score three every other inning, then you'll be fine. Uh, so yeah, they're bringing in Serpo, who's at peak season at 1,800 TPE. That's a huge bat to have. I mean, that's no doubt. This is a guy who could bring 4 to 5 WAR if on a good season, and yeah, and they're the bulk of the team really. Uh, Yeah, it's a little hard to say. Like something like some of the guys are not as high as TPE as you kind of would expect them to, but then there are other ones that are doing well. So again, they're taking advantage of the fact that those two, Nashville and Indy, are taking a step back, and they have the opportunity to potentially win the division here, or even forget winning division, just making it into the playoffs. And Taco Shop and Play took that opportunity and did that. They do have some notable younger players that are coming up in Alpha Nerd. This All Star, an HL member, huge power bat in future seasons to come. They have Goaty McGoface, another prominent name and a user who's been very active. A high draft pick, if I remember correctly. So, um, so yeah, they move some assets around to be able to do that. But with that, unfortunately, they don't really have a farm. So if you want to say that that's the concern about Detroit right now is that they don't have a farm, and it's not, and it's hard to just replace people because while they did bring in Catch a Scudder, season 42 regresses really fast from here on. So yeah, this move is a win now, as in like this season move. I'm not quite sure where they're gonna go in the future, because they don't have anybody else to call up. So, but maybe perhaps there are other free agency that they can kind of do so while some of the younger ones get going. So, all right. So it looks like Detroit gets the winner of that. So congratulations to people who chose that. Let's see what other games are still going on. So it's still, oh, any minors games, or you're stuck in limbo here? Might be stuck in limbo here. Yeah, sure, we could go. Yeah, let's go Kingpins. We shall go Kingpins. You are the catcher. Am I not? Am I correct? Or yes, right here. Great Traveler. Two 93. I wouldn't. I wouldn't take any of the spring training stats into heart. Like even if you're batting like 500 or you're batting like buck 50, it's kind of all over the place. So like and now we're armed jets. I have my my system automatically arms at 11 p.m. So just so I don't have to remember to arm it. um, I wish I can say I knew more about Chicago and the Dillos. The Dillos. Let me start with the Dillos. I do know them a little bit more because as I the aforementioned Blue Line, I love Blue Line, and he recently brought on K Dub as the as his as he yeah, my mic picks up really well, but it's also actually it is kind of loud. Like I don't know why I kept it that loud. I guess better for me to know. um um Nadillo has been actually pretty successful over recent seasons under Blue Line and Yeti, and prior to that is Blue Sky and Double Dub, and so they have ran a really good system. And I there are some stuff that I know that I don't know if Blue Line has the time to do it, but I know that Blue Sky did for the team, which is really helpful in player development, and they have put in a lot of effort into making that team and the players just really good. Um, I I would suspect that they would continue to win a bunch of games. I They have a bot catcher, so but that might not matter that much. I've we have seen teams winning a bunch of games with bot catchers before. They still have a double dubs player who's down there for 5 seasons. That's huge. Like you get people who are minors only, and or want to stay down for like 5 seasons, while their player cap is not getting better. I do think that like the game actually have them playing better just because they just been on the team longer. I'm totally convinced of that. So yeah, I think there's a good chance that Walterson there is gonna just absolutely destroy the league this season. I like in his 5th season. Over to Kingpins. I can't really say that I know too much about them. I know Webby just became the GM of the Kingpins this past season with flying is it VW? I forgot the actual username. I'm being dumb. WV. Just kidding. WV. Yes, I was close. You know, I was trying to remember if it was WV or VW, but anyways, both of you guys being still relatively new, I know flying WV been there for what is it, like 3-4 seasons now, or whatever it is. I mean, yeah, it's still new, and Webby obviously just got on board, so there is a bit of a learning curve in that, in GMing. So I know they made a lot of moves in moving around the drafts, try to pick up players. I so it's Volkswagen. Okay, well, it's the other way around. It's WV, so it's Wagon Volks. um, so part of I don't I mean the only advice I really have for new people is I don't focus so much on winning. I think that's the thing with minors GMs, is that like I do understand that you keep people around by winning, but I promise you, like I have told many minors GM this before, you focus on your players and everything else will fall into place. Like it's about the development of each and every single player. Not all of them will pan out. Some of them will absolutely be duds. There's just no matter what you do, and then you just need to figure out who you want to invest that time in, because there's some let's you want to invest in the time that the ones that want to be there, and so forth. There are ones that just for whatever reason they just don't care. And it's a 12-1 victory. Fun times. So, but yeah, I wish you guys the best. I can't say I know too much about how you guys ended up doing the draft. I know you guys made a bunch of trades. That's as far as I know. But who you drafted with them, I don't remember. So forgive me. My focus can only be on so many things. All right, let's see. Any more games? So it's final. So minors are done. So there's still stuff going on in the majors. You're not a draft, not for the minors. I mean, like I can't pay attention to that. Like you're thinking being multiple war rooms, like I would know, but I'm just like, nah. I have access to all of it. And I just like, nah. I can't. I just mentally I can't. I guess Nashville is the only Cancun is the only game left. So let's go here. Might as well watch some games while we chat a bit more. Yeah, too many wires. Who haven't we talked about? Well, San Antonio. So I'm just looking at out of town scoreboards here, but San Antonio, they do have a good team. I just they have a chance that three where it'll be like last season, where three of the teams in the Legends Conference comes from the West. There's a good chance that may happen. Unfortunately, there's also a very good chance that San Antonio might miss the cut with the improvement in Boise and Vancouver. This team uh, this team is not exactly young. They have focused on the draft a lot more in the last couple of drafts. So I thought they made out really well in the season 54 draft, considering considering that they drafted Amidas Blair, the catcher, in the third round, while you could potentially project him as a late first round. So Juoso, one of the strengths that Juoso has always had, and why she has always been successful, is because she's able to draft people in these late rounds and and have so much success with them. Having those really shields you from what goes wrong in the first. There's a lot of things that could go wrong with your first round draft pick, especially if you're not in the top five. There's no guarantees afterwards. You got guys who may earn really well. You got guys that, while earn really well, you really suck. They would suck because they not their fault. They have real life issues that comes up. They get busy at work, and other stuff, and they go inactive, or they just slow down their earning dramatically. Yeah, Swishman, it's you. Good spring training so far. 3.41 ERA, 29 strikeouts in 29 innings. This. So I don't really I kind of expect the Sloth to hover around like the 55 to 57 win mark. Um, if the ball bounces their way, then they win a few more. They may sneak into the playoffs. If not, then you're looking at the number 3 team in the Legends West. And again, if the ball bounces their way, then maybe they make the playoffs over OBX and New York. Who knows? So, um, but yeah, they have a lot. Yeah, their pen is really young, so it'll be interesting to see how it will fare out. They have a few arms that are lower TPE just due to the age being called up. So, um, yeah, I think this is, what is it, that 53 class that came out. It was Cletus, BMW, Uptown Court, and Liru the Woof. There's 4 pitchers coming up, 500 TPE and under. Uh, it may work because depth is very important as well. And good evening. A SP headed was a surprise. What do you think, Boise versus Van? I mentioned this before. I think Van has the better offense, and that might be what kind of sneaks them in as the team that may win more during the regular season. Uh, I think Boise. I think Boise may have the edge on pitching depth. So it will be a different story of what I think will happen in the playoffs. And who has home field advantage, really, it might be very, very important. But yeah, I for my prediction, I have Vancouver 1 and Boise 2. And that gap isn't exactly big. You're talking about one game. Like you're talking about, again, someone sneezed the wrong way, with butterfly effects, someone's gonna win, one way or another. Um, so um, so yeah, uh, the starting pitcher thing going to Boise, surprise in a way. Yeah. Um, it's interesting to try to figure out like how much of an impact that actually has. because I did mention that starting pitcher could potentially. Well, you do, yes. In my testing, I believe Vancouver has on average, the second most strikeouts in the Legends, and forgot about the league, but it's still pretty high up there. If not, if not still top three. So yes, Vancouver can strike out a lot of people. That's kind of just come with the territory when most of your builds are flamethrowers. But again, yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of variation that goes on there. All right, Cancun absolutely crushes Nashville 10-1, and that will do it for this day. Oh no, just kidding. Yeah, it's getting a little late, so I'm just gonna finish these guys off. All right, let's go around. The Aviators beat the Voyagers 5-2. Buffalo with a 6-0 victory over the Raptors. Pathfinder's 7-2 victory. Pathfinder with a winning record in a spring training. 7-2 victory over Vancouver Vandos. Sloths beat the Crabs 5-1. The Rougarous 2-1 victory over the Lunar Base Space Rangers. Demons 6-3 victory over Sea Serpents. As we saw before, Toros 10-1 victory over the Stars. Scorpions 9-5 victory over the Apex. Down to the Miners, the Ranas. Let's go, Ranas. 7-2 victory over the Swifties. Brewers 7-1 victory over the Firehawks. Capcats over 3-1 victory over Flamingos. Lemurs 3-2 victory over the Wheelers, and a 12-1 victory for the Dillos. Frog Nation. Ribbit, ribbit. Day off. Does that mean we're done? No, there's another day. Hang on. Yes, there is one more random day. Right, that is right. And then we'll call it a day here. Okay. All right. The Aviators finish off the spring training at 15-9 of a 3-2 victory over the Crabs. Buffalo Surge with a 6-3 victory over the Slavs. Vandos win in 10 in a walk-off fashion. Let's see if McLovin. Yes, it is. McLovin with a single, scoring Danny Burgers to win the game off of PKVS. The Voyagers a 7-0 victory over the Pathfinders. In Demons 6-0 victory over the Stars. Indy. Ooh, the Toros almost came back. 5-4 victory over the Toros. Rougarous a 10-2 victory over the Sea Serpents. Death Valley 8-1 victory over Lunar Base. Okay. All right, Kansas City 5-1 victory over the Kingpins. 9-1 victory. Flamingos over the Wheelers. Lemurs 4-1 victory over the Firehawks. The Dillos walk off 4-3 over the Ranas. It is Sandstrew, the bot, scoring Crystalhauser, and that will win the game, I think. Second, Brett. Okay, yeah. So Goldberg ties it, and then yeah. And Brew City 3-1 victory over State College. That would do it for this. Regular season is going to start Tuesday. So, regular season is going to start Tuesday. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's really nothing else in between. All right. If you have any questions, please drop. Happy to answer. I actually need to step away for a few minutes. I will be right back. So I apologize for that. Ooh, sorry about that. All right. Well, let's see. What else? I don't know. I don't know who else you want my thoughts about or care. I think I touched on a good amount of teams. A minor league surprising debut. Uh, kind of like a really good rookie season. It's a good question. Oh, like anyone who's calling up that may do really well. Oh, okay, the other way around. I was gonna say, they just got drafted by minors. Let's just, they're like 140 TPE. Like anything can happen. Um, who, I guess, let me take a look at that call upset that would really may make an impact. Um, let me look here instead. I guess. Give me a second. Let me see. That's a good question. Like, why are you loading? What is? What is? Where are they at? Nola. I'm a little curious about. I don't think they'll. I don't think they'll hit well, but it's going to be hard. But New Orleans call up AJ Boucher. They're around close to 700 TPE. It's not a lot, and it's rough rookie season to try to hit. Oh, under the radar. Oh, yeah. I don't know if it's under the radar because Boucher was like a number 4 overall draft pick or whatever she was. So, but yeah, I think, I mean, in that lineup, sometimes you get called up in a good lineup, they get protected more. Well, Big Boom is not called up. So Big Boom is not called up. So I don't think that counts. I think a lot of people. Well, I actually. The Seattle group that I mentioned before between Rabbit and Crunk, Bandit Healer. I am curious. I can't remember off the top of my head what Crunk's allocation was for his build. Let me see what they've been down for like 4 seasons. Being down for like 4 seasons, it helps a lot. You're coming up at like 900 TPE versus, well, Crunk is okay. Zach Johnson the third is at it's close to 700 TPE as well. Rabbit's player, can you take me higher? He is okay, never mind. He's a magician, so yes, he may win Gold Glove somewhere. But offensively, may not be. How do you get that much TPE? Well, the max build is 350, but you bank TPE after. So max earners in their second, they will max out at 350 around, like, the top earners of each class usually finish off their 350 at after the first week or so in their second season. So afterwards, you just bank and bank and bank and bank. So by the time you get called up, you stay down for 4 seasons. You're still earning TPE. When you get called up, you're at like 850 TPE, whatever it is. Only 350 of that is used. So now you're unloading 400, 500 worth of TPE into your player. Okay, so yes, there's a huge advantage of people staying down for like 4 seasons versus, 3 or 5 seasons versus 3. With 3 is a normal one. Like, unless Seattle can keep people down longer because at this time they're not winning. Like, calling them up won't win them any more games. If anything, they might lose more games. And they can afford like signing inactive players who are actually better, or more TV at the time. And so they keep these guys down, and then now they call them up at the time when long story short, you front load the contracts and figure out a way to Oh no, they're doing. Oh, this is. Oh, I know what they're doing. Oh, this is okay. I saw some of the numbers and I have a flashback of this. I know who's behind the numbers, but it's hilarious. Anyways, yeah. There's no advantage because it doesn't help the player. Like it doesn't help the player. It doesn't help the team. So the difference is if you get drafted to a good team is that you may get called up early because it actually helps the team. Yes, it may not help you, but there's no way a good team can keep you down for 4 or 5 seasons. Like I mean, there's not enough cap in the world to do, that's why there's a salary cap. I joke to people, it's like I don't pay you to not play you. Why am I paying you not to be on my team? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Not when I'm trying to win games here, and make sure that I can feel the team. So yeah, they are yeah, this is a very interesting team. I'm excited to see where they're going. I don't think with a magician built, I don't think Rabbit's gonna win rookie of the year. But however, he could win a gold glove. I think he's playing second. So we'll see. Let me see who else. Let me see who else. Let's go. Toronto got a couple guys. I think Austin Webb is one to look for, but he's not exactly an under the radar guy. So, under the radar, under the radar, under the radar. I think the under the radar guys are the relievers, like guys who get called because they would actually have they could like sneak in there to win rookie of the year. How can you explain? Got drafted, signs a contract, but for how can you explain how? Oh, okay. The first season is basically off the books. Think of it this way: the first season after you get drafted, it's free to a major league team. But obviously, from a league perspective, like some like the player should get some money to help him out. So it's $5 million, but we put it as it's covered by the minors. I, I mean, it's a weird term because the money doesn't actually come from the minors. The minors have no money, so I don't. But ultimately, what it really means is that the first season, if they're down in the minors, it is free to the majors team. No, there's no cap in the minors. It's just what we called it. It's kind of a weird way of doing that. Yeah, it's a silly thing, but yeah. So ultimately, we basically have 2 seasons where we can a player in your first season in the minors, you get if you get drafted and you play the full season, it's 5 million. Second season, you still get another 5 million. So there's money to cover at least a rookie tier equipment for your player. And subsequently from there on it will be on the team. You'll be counted against the team salary cap based on whatever rookie contract that you sign. That number is based on the round that you got drafted in. The first round gets paid $3 million this season. Second round is 2 mil. Third round is 1.5. Fourth round 1.25. Fifth round is 1. So there have been teams that have tried to front load that. So basically meaning that out of that three, let's say you're 3 mil for 3 seasons, I can pay you 4 in the first 2 and then drop it down to 2 in the third or whatever it is, like whatever, however the numbers can come out to. Doesn't happen a lot because not really getting that much savings. It's kind of, it's not a lot of advantage to it. Let me see. So I think usually the ones that are coming up that may would have the impact is the relievers, because they could have really good seasons coming up, and we have seen a lot of relievers win rookie of the year because of that. Yeah. it's not. Yeah, yeah. I think that's it for like yeah. I don't think there's a bat that is really gonna stand out or anything. Where's Brobus? Let me see. What's this one? Buffalo. Brobus. Oh, actually, yeah. Zen Brobus. How did he sneak? How did he keep him down for 4? Zen Brobus of Buffalo. He's coming up at close to 900. Don't know. Let me see his build. An OBP build. Oh, 70 power. Okay. Yeah, this one could do pretty decently. Ben Brent. Zen Brobus of Buffalo. He may get enough protection in the lineup, and plus he's closer to 900 TPE, so he might actually hit pretty well. Buffalo has a history of hitting well, even when they were not good. So I've seen a lot of bats for whatever reason go through a Buffalo and they do well, like outperform what they're really supposed to be. So perhaps they may have another one here. All right, the upload is done. Let me get the index. Do they have leaders? Statistical leaders? No, they don't. In spring training? No, they don't. Aha, splits. No. Time frame, game type, spring training. No. Oh, there it is. All right, index is uploading. You can see some hitting leaders in the spring training here. Chianulis Stewart 12 home runs. That's insane. Yeah, good for him. Let's see, pitching stats. Who threw the most innings? Sloppy Joe took up all the innings. Most strikeout goes to Shrub as a reliever. That's impressive. All right, folks. Index is uploaded. There's no more questions. I am going to take off, and yeah, thank you for joining me. Apologies for the strange seconds spring training sim. We'll work on making sure the communication is better on when the sim stops. Otherwise, thank you for joining me tonight. Best of luck to you all, season 54. Hopefully it'll go well, and just most importantly, just enjoy the process. Whether your player is doing well or not, enjoy the process. That's if you're not having fun, then I don't know what we're doing here. So anyways, let me then spring training after dark. So all right, folks, have yourself a wonderful weekend, and take care, everybody.